Welcome to Rock in the City, renewing our community for the kingdom.
Welcome to another episode of Rock in the City, where we're highlighting the people, partnerships, and the shared vision helping transform communities and create opportunities across Indianapolis. I'm your host, Catherine Kuhn, and today we're joined by someone who has been a strong supporter of the Rock Initiative and the work happening through Eastern Star Dual Human Services and the Rock Community Center for Youth and Children. Joining us today is Councilman Ron Gibson, a respected leader and community partner who understands the importance of collaboration, investment, and building relationships that create lasting impact. One of the things we often talk about on this show is that transformation work doesn't happen alone. It takes people, organizations, businesses, and community leaders coming together across a shared commitment to strengthen neighborhoods and investing in the future of families and young people. Today, we'll talk about the importance of partnership, why community investment matters, and how collaboration can help move initiatives like the Rock Initiative forward in meaningful and sustainable ways. Ron, thank you so much for joining us today on Rock in the City. One of the things that we've been talking about often on the show is the importance of partnerships and having people who believe in the vision of strengthening communities for the long term. You've been a strong supporter of the Rock Initiative and the work happening through RC051 SAT. From your perspective, what was it about this vision and the work that made you want to get involved and support it?
Well, first, thank you for being a host and trying to get the information out more about what Eastern Star Church and the Rock Initiative is doing in terms of its global mission beyond the walls of the church. And so very thankful for your role and Wish TV's involvement as well. I would tell you that I've been a member of Eastern Star Church for 30 years. And Pastor Johnson Sr. has been preaching the word that's so well that it's caused me to want to do more beyond my own family, and so my call to get into public service. But even more broader than that, I'm so proud that Eastern Star has the Rock Initiative, which has not only created more affordable housing, but also has a wonderful community center that's helping our youth. We have a banking facility, we have a small grocery store, and we're working with other affordable housing units in terms of trying to uplift people. And it tells a lot about what Eastern Star Church is doing through the Rock Initiative and how broad it is and its impact across the city. So I think that's just a perfect example, and it kind of lines up with my mission as a local lawmaker, and primarily the need or concern for others, especially for those that have the least of those. And I think working more with initiatives to try to create and drive more affordable housing is an important piece of Indianapolis, and I'm happy to be a part of my initiatives and trying to drive that opportunity more for affordable housing. So I think potentially there's a lot of different things that we can marry up with the Rock Initiative and the things I'm trying to do in the city.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. So you did mention that you're a member, so thank you so much. And so how has your faith been a part of the work that you do?
You know what, God is at the central of everything I do. I couldn't do anything without God, and I thank God for a church like Eastern Star Church that makes the word so plain and so relative to my life, and how it helps me to do better, and more importantly to want to serve and step up. So I think what we do at the church, Eastern Star, goes a long way. But again, when I talk about what we're doing outside the church, outside the walls, in the community, making a difference, I think that goes a long way. And you think about like what we already done in terms of the Arlington Woods neighborhood and the partnership there. So I think my faith is strong in where I stand. I give a lot of that credit to my mother, Jane Gibson, who laid the foundation for me to get a personal relationship with Christ. And that personal relationship with Christ just makes me grow, and I hope I'm doing the same and for my son as well. So, but I couldn't do anything without my faith in Jesus.
Oh, wonderful. So have you always known that this is something that you wanted to do, or is this, how did you get into community and politics and into the role that you're in now?
No, I think it kind of grew on me. I for some reason I was always interested in politics, but didn't know why. And one day it just kind of married up with me just catching a politician in a grocery store at all places. And I just said hello to her. Her name was State Representative Mae Dickinson. And I just introduced myself and asked could I help or how can I get more involved. And she just connected the dots, and her compassion and her way of trying to educate me just gave me more desire to find that path. I didn't know I had it, but I always had a desire, but didn't know what that meant. And she kind of opened those doors, and then I met people like the wonderful late Congresswoman Julia Carson. She was the trustee of Center Township trustee at the time, and she was running for Congress, and I got actively involved in her campaign, and we worked with Pastor Johnson and others and try to make sure she won that office, and she did. And so she kind of helped me take on additional opportunities to run for office, and was successful at it.
So what has it meant to you now to be where you are and then being able to have an impact in communities?
You know what, I go back, I talked about affordable housing, and I often think about what can I do to make a difference, especially that someone that needs it the most. And I think from my standpoint is really trying to meet a need and address a need. One of the things I hear a lot about is vacancies, or I like to say blight in our community. And Councilman Gibson, what can we do about this abandoned house or this abandoned building? And so what I try to do is bring potential developers and funders and bring along some public tax incentives to try to create some atmosphere or environment to maybe change that blight, to improve our neighborhoods. There's so much of it in my council district that there's a lot that needs to be done, and certainly it's a lot, but I think at the end of the day we just try to do as little as we can in terms of trying to push the needle to change and improve our communities. So affordable housing, helping with the blighted areas, or even bigger than that, more than I hear about anything, is infrastructure. Our streets and the potholes and our sidewalks are crumbling, so just trying to work with my colleagues on the council and the mayor's office to try to figure out how we can come up with more funding to help with infrastructure. So try to make sure that people can really see that impact in their very own neighborhood where they live at.
Nice, wonderful. So how important is collaboration between organizations and community stakeholders in the work that we're doing?
Yeah, we can't do it by ourselves, right? I mean, a lot of times I find out very quickly I have little to no power. and really the power is in collaboration, really. At the end of the day, I'm just one spoke in the wheel, and so if you can get everybody on board, it makes a difference. I think Rock Initiative, Eastern Star Church, is a wonderful model how they come together and bring up other partners together to make sure come with a shared vision. And I think that kind of model is one that we can use in other aspects of the city, but primarily with government. Government is a hard beast to try to think out the box. We're so set in the same mindset. It's hard to get us to think outside the box, but creative thinkers like the Rock Initiative and Eastern Star Church can help me and others to think differently and bring about that collaboration.
Wonderful. So what role do businesses and leaders play in neighborhood transformation?
You know what? It's everything. I know Eastern Star recently announced that we purchased a property from Martin University, and what that future might look like. And so I think you'll see firsthand how Eastern Star Church and the Rock Initiative is really going to seek neighborhood input, neighborhood leaders' input, other partners' input to figure out exactly what those parcels of lands in Martindale Brightwood really look like for the future. I believe that understanding the need, but also bringing the partners to help work on that need, like we mentioned previously about collaborative, that effort together can make a difference. And I believe that what the Rock Initiative is doing, not only in Arlington Woods, will now spread to Martindale Brightwood, which will be a tremendous help. Unfortunately, there's a lot of blight in Martindale Brightwood, and I've been trying to work to try to improve a lot of that. And I'm happy to have Eastern Star and the Rock Initiative as a partner going forward.
Nice, thank you. And I know with Beechwood and Hawthorne, we're already seeing a lot of improvements in those spaces. So things that were broken are getting fixed, security is there, and people are experiencing a more stable place to live, which is very nice. So what does sustainable community impact really require?
I think in order for anything to be sustainable, it's got to be well planned out. Make sure you have the right partners. But bigger than anything, the funding, the capital stack has to be in place. I have so many people that approach me about possible development and asking me for possible tax incentives to make their project work. But what I find most often with people are trying to pursue something that they believe is a future project is not necessarily having the capital. The capital stack is very important. So I think when you start to think about a vision, you got to have the financial people together, and the creativity and the grants and the public incentive, and as well as private and quite frankly contribution from those of us as Christians, and try to invest in worthwhile projects. So I think sustainability can be a lot of planning and organization, but I really believe the core of anything being sustainable is making sure the capital stack is right.
Okay, wonderful. So why investing in people? Why does investing in people and relationships matter so much?
You know, God put us on this earth not just to worry about ourselves, but to be loving and caring about each other. I think a lot would be, we'll go a lot further in things that we're doing currently if we just think about love. I mean, there's a lot of animosity, political violence. There's a lot of going on in the atmosphere right now. But love is the greatest command from God, and if we can just hone in on that a lot more, how far that could take us in terms of improving and sharing with others to help do more we're called to do. We're called to give, and I think if we keep that love at the forefront of all that, we can make a difference. And boy, I sure hope we can recall that now, especially in today's time. There's so much going on at the national level, the state level, and frankly at the local level where I'm at. But love is the answer to all that, and that's what I'm trying to keep myself personally, because at times I think I can get pulled in an opposition or in a way that creates division. But I think even in if I don't agree or disagree, if I still keep the element of love up forefront, then we have respect and we can go forward.
No, I love that you said that, because we're all in this together, right? We're all humans, walk on this planet together. We're all in this together. And so very well said, so thank you.
Yeah.
Ron has shared some powerful insights on why partnership, trust, and shared vision are so important when it comes to creating meaningful community impact. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Ron and talk more about the role collaboration and leadership play in strengthening neighborhoods and investing in the future of our city. Stay with us. You're watching Rock in the City. In the heart of Arlington Woods, a transformation is underway, powered by faith, community, and action. The Rock Initiative is restoring hope, one family, one home, one opportunity at a time. From affordable housing and financial empowerment to education and community wellness, the Rock Initiative is investing in what matters most. Now, we're bringing these stories to life. Rock in the City is a new video series sharing the voices, victories, and visions of Arlington Woods. Rock in the City, because transformation lives here.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back to Rock in the City. I'm your host, Catherine Kuhn, and today we're joined by Councilman Ron Gibson. Before the break, we talked about the importance of partnerships and what inspired Ron to support the vision behind the Rock Initiative and RCCYC. Now I'd love to talk more about the bigger picture. Community transformation takes more than just one organization. It requires collaboration between business leaders, nonprofits, faith organizations, and people who are willing to invest their time, resources, and expertise into something larger than themselves. So Councilman Ron, from your perspective, what do strong community partnerships look like, and why are they so critical to creating long-term impact?
Yeah, I know we talked about Eastern Star and the Rock Initiative and early on, but I think that foundation is one that is worth modeling. And what I mean by that is how Eastern Star Rock Initiative not only took the members of Eastern Star to make sure our tithes and offerings are working the right way, and I'm very much a tither, and I believe in that very much. And matter of fact, I think it's as essential as Christians that we make sure that we're investing not only in God's mission, that minimum 10%, but even a little bit more to help with initiatives as worthwhile as the Rock Initiative is. But I think one, we got to make sure that you have the right partners, and I think Rock Initiative is good about figuring out who those right partners are. But even when I'm looking at things much on a holistic level in terms of the city, I like to mimic what the Rock Initiative's done in terms of affordable housing, and where that I believe that as my role as councilman, what can I do in terms of encouraging tax incentives to create more affordable housing. And so I'm proud to tell you that I'm working very hard in an area where this coming June we'll announce a partnership with Sullivan Development, where they'll be creating more affordable housing in the Martindale Brightwood area, primarily around 33rd and Old Sutherland area there, where there would be a unit, quality, about 200 units. The overall project will cost about $50 million. And so that's just one potential that we will have to grow affordable housing. But I think there's much more we need to do. Working with Mayor Hogsett and his administration to try to figure out how we can get additional 8 different projects coming 2026, 2027 in my council district that'll create some more affordable housing. I think I talked a lot about earlier about how much blight there is in my council district, and I'm thankful that Eastern Star Church is working with Hawthorne Apartments and others to try to make sure we uplift that community and make sure that's thriving as well. But I want to come alongside and make sure we got more affordable housing projects. So I got additional 8 housing projects, developments in the works with various development companies working to try to get their capital stack together to make sure they can pull off those projects. But in a way to try to do that, we'll create some pilots, which is payment in lieu of taxes, to help them with that capital stack to hopefully get those additional affordable housing projects up and coming in late 2026 and 2027 in the Council District 8 where I serve.
So thank you so much for sharing all that. So along with the affordable housing in these communities, what else is needed in specifically in the community to make that sustainable?
Yeah, I think one thing is I want to commend Mayor Hogsett and IMPD is to create safety, make sure everybody feels that they're safe, and crime is down in Indianapolis, is really down in my council district 8, but also aggravated assaults, murders, all those heinous crimes are coming down as well. But I think we got to figure out, work within our community organizations, how we can help to prevent crime from occurring in our city. And so working with those various partners to make sure they're outreach and providing appropriate resources for those who may need it to stay out of the life of crime. But I think affordable housing, public safety, and then I mentioned the third component of it is making sure our streets are safe and not many potholes. So working with Mayor Hogsett and my council colleagues, coming with a funding package that will help to improve streets and sidewalks. We anticipate that we may have an additional $100 million in funding to improve infrastructure going forward, starting in 2027. But my colleagues, council colleagues, and the mayor, we got to figure out the first $50 million of that total $100 million package to how we'll come up with new ways to actually fund that first $50 million. we're in conversations now to get that done. But again, I hope we can improve infrastructure. So to sum it up, for more affordable housing, public safety, and improving our infrastructure.
So I'm in human resources, that's my background, and so one statistic that I'll always remember is when unemployment goes down, crime goes down. And so can you talk to me a little bit about like jobs for so we're getting the housing, so what for sustainability, jobs for these folks that are coming to the community?
Yeah, one of the things about our economy is we got to be constantly coming up with ways to drive our economy, to drive up the jobs in our economy. And so one of the things that I'm proud of is how we are constantly thinking about the ordinances or the proposals that come out of the council. How does it impact economics? How does it impact jobs? How does it impact a potential company that wants to come to Indianapolis or expand in Indianapolis? So, like for instance, we recently had some proposals for further development for a corporation that wanted to expand in Indianapolis. What do we have to do to come alongside to make sure that happened? We created some tax incentives to help that company expand in Indianapolis, creating hundreds more jobs in the next few years, but also, more importantly, a sustainability that we believe that would help with them grow their business, that'll create that they'd be in Indianapolis for greater than 20 years or more, hopefully for a lot more longer than that, but at least we set the stage for them to grow and what they expect in terms of what the future may bring.
Nice. And so that would have been one of my questions. What are your hopes for the future of Indianapolis?
You know, my future in Indianapolis, I believe, I think about our young folks, and also I think about our mature adults. I think as I mature and get to close to retirement, is what does Indianapolis look like for me, but also what does it look like for our young citizens? And so I think there's got to be some kind of equal balancing in terms of what the future looks like. Our young folks are so much more intelligent than us, and they're smarter than us. But how do we bring them with their great ideas and the shared wisdom as we mature, and how we can look what the future might bring? I'm optimistic. As a Christian, I'm very optimistic. I believe God is still in control. I know things a lot we hear about in the country and the world may have us worried, but I would encourage all of us to stay in tune with God and stay prayerful. And I think we encourage more about the future when we do that. And so I think to answer your question, I think the future is how much we believe in God and stay prayerful and do the work to carry out the future.
So, so that was your hopes for the future of Indianapolis. What about your hopes for the future of the Rock Initiative specifically?
Wow, I'm excited about that. I think I mentioned earlier that Eastern Star just purchased the property from the old Martin University, and I know we as a community are hurt that Martin University went out of business. But on the other hand, I'm very excited that a Christian church that believes in the Lord Jesus Christ has taken reign of that property, and I have no doubt that Eastern Star Church will somehow, some way, figure out a way to make sure that Martin University's history is here for a long time and display that. But more importantly, I think is what Eastern Star Church has done in Arlington Woods neighborhood. I believe it can be replicated in other parts of the city. In this particular case, I believe it can be helped with to improve the quality of life in Martindale Brightwood. So I'm very excited to hopefully I'm talking to and encouraging Pastor Johnson and his team to allow me to try to work with some of that going forward, and maybe I can help try to encourage or help steer some additional tax incentives or dollars to help Rock Initiative going forward in terms of primarily improving, building up more affordable housing in Martindale, Brightwood, and beyond.
Nice. And so you mentioned a little bit earlier about our opportunities for our youth and what's the future for our youth. So how do you see the purchase of what is now the Rock Impact Center and youth coming along and just really being able to utilize that space?
You know what? Recently the council put some strict curfew guidelines in place to make sure our youth have some kind of border, meaning some kind of help to make sure they stay away from crime. But I like what Eastern Star Church and the Rock Initiative is doing with not only the community center that we have near our main campus on East 30th Street, but what it's going to do now in the Martindale-Brightwood area. And I think our youth need a safe a place to go and to feel encouraged, to help them to live out their dreams and help them to dream for just a basic thing of dreaming and to feel safe to do that. But even more importantly, to connect with strong support staff that can help mentor them and encourage them. And then those families that may need resources or help beyond what the youth is experiencing. Maybe there's a home or housing or help with possibly with services to make sure they can stay in their home. I think the Rock Initiative can do that in a much broader capacity. I'm hoping that others will join along with Eastern Star Church and contribute and help fund that initiative going forward, and I have no doubt that it would be successful.
Yes, God is in control, right?
Amen.
God is in control.
Amen.
Is there anything else you would like to share as we conclude this episode? Is there anything you would like to share to our viewers that we haven't covered?
I'm just grateful for my Eastern Star Church family. I'm grateful to our lead pastor, Pastor Jeffrey Johnson Jr. And also very grateful to our legacy pastor, Pastor Jeffrey Johnson Sr. And I'm grateful to you and others to actually get the word out about what the Rock Initiative is doing, and grateful that God is still in control, and we keep our eyes and ears and our hearts open to what God will have in store for us in the future.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Ron, thank you again for joining us today and for and sharing your perspective on leadership, partnership, and the importance of investing in communities and people. Today's conversation is a reminder that meaningful transformation happens when individuals and organizations come together around a shared vision and a commitment to creating opportunity for others. We're grateful for your continued support of the Rock Initiative and the work happening through RCCYC and Joel Human Services. And to thank you, all of our viewers, for joining us on this episode of Rock in the City. I'm your host, Catherine Kuhn, and we'll see you next time as we continue highlighting the people, the partnerships, and the purpose driving transformation in our community.
Rock in the City, renewing our community for the kingdom.